The Paps Lux. This is available from Vapor Art from GP. It's available for €120, and when you get it, it looks a hell of a lot nicer than this. But mine has dulled because I've been using it, and the material is a aluminum bronze alloy, which is highly conductive but much stronger than brass. But it does tarnish the same way, so you do have to polish it. And it does have a polished finish, not a brush finish, so if you want to keep it looking shiny, you're going to have to polish it fairly regularly, and it does pick up fingerprints, so that's okay. It does look really, really nice when you first get it, though. The button is a little bit shinier. That's closer to what it looks like, but it's still got a little bit of my finger schmutz on there, so... It is, the top cap and bottom cap are 3/16 stainless steel. The pins and connection points are all 24 karat gold, plated, silver, plated, brass. So it's brass, silver plated, and then 24 karat gold plated. It has one nice feature that I really like that's different from the older GP products is it has these 4 little prongs on the bottom of the switch that you can see there. See those 4 little nubs on the bottom around the edge of the switch? Basically what that does is that allows you to put the device down without it firing. I was a GP Paps user, one of the older versions, and had fluid firing in my car for like 4 minutes because I put this thing down in the cup I put an older GP down in the cup holder and it fired for 4 minutes straight, and my car just reeked of burnt fluid for weeks after that. It was pretty heinous, so definitely like that feature. And obviously, you know, and it's got the locking ring just like the older Paps does, but this one, like I said, you can put down on a table without having to worry about it. Hold on a sec. Oh yeah, just real quick. Yeah, Black Widow did win earlier, but she didn't actually win. She won the contest, but gave it away to somebody else. It was a piff. So yeah, that's why she was allowed to participate in this one and won. So you guys know the rules. Only one win per show, but she piffed the first time, so it's okay. She's just lucky with the numbers tonight. So let's talk about the internals on this guy. The inside of the switch, this is all gold plated. It's basically a pin with a hex around it that locks it into place. Now those are gold plated as well, and then it's got a Delrin ring where the battery sits to keep it insulated from making contact with the bottom. You press on the switch, and that little guy fires. It is a very, very short, very, very soft throw, which I really like a lot. That's one of the things that I like a lot about the Bear Brass mods. Very soft throw, very short throw. You know, you can actually fire this almost on the palm of your hand, even though it's a reset. Actually, I think you could. Yep, there you go. So, you know, it's just, you barely have to press it in and it fires, which is really, really nice. I like that. It comes with an extra spring, which I've got in my little tackle box. You know what a spring looks like. The dimensions of the device are in 350 mode, which is what I've got right here. It's 60 millimeters in length, and it is a 22 millimeter diameter. It is available in other size tubes as well. You can get it, I don't know if you can get the 800 tube anymore for it, but you can get a 500 and a 650. The 800 tube would be for if you wanted to use an 18650 with a kick. I'm not sure if that's still available though. So the looks, if you don't mind keeping it polished, it looks gorgeous. It's a really, really classy looking device. I really like the bronzed aluminum. I think it looks really, really nice. I like the logo on here. It's a nice cleaner look from what they had before. Just very simple with the GP. You can see it's got the battery vent holes on there as well. It feels nice and sturdy, but it's not too heavy. And you know, part of that is because this is a 350, obviously. But I like the feel of the device. And like I said, I like the look of it. The firing button, really, really smooth. Don't have to fire. You know, with some devices, you know, it doesn't happen that often, but sometimes if you have a device that's got a finicky firing switch, you'll have to push it in and like off to the side a little bit to get fire properly. Not with this. You just press it in, works. And it works great. I don't love the lock ring only because, and this is me being real kind of picky, I prefer a lock ring that's reverse threaded. I don't like when you turn the lock ring and you can, and then if you turn it a little too hard, it unscrews the bottom. So, you know, you're screwing in the same direction to tighten it as you are to lock it, so, or to unlock it. So when you lock it, you can unintentionally unscrew the bottom. So that, you know, not a huge deal, but I do prefer the reverse threading. Let's see, let's talk about the top cap. Hold on a sec. The top cap's got 4 vents in it, as you can see on the side there. It's got the 4 air vents. And let me show you the pin on the inside real quick. And this is what's become a very popular item, the GP telescoping pin. You can use these in a lot of other devices, actually. They fit inside the Caravella, they fit inside the JM22 and 16. So, and you can order these right from VaporArt if you want to just get the telescoping pin that they have, but this is gold-plated, just like I said earlier. So it has very good conductivity, and the nice thing about the gold plating versus silver plating is that even though it's not quite as conductive as silver, or copper, actually, it's kind of the same boat. The nice thing about gold is it's not going to tarnish, so you don't have to clean the contacts. So even though you need to polish the outside to keep this looking real shiny and spiffy, you don't have to maintain the contact points on the device. It just works, and they just, you know, have good conductivity. You don't have to clean them all the time. Performance-wise, how does it hit compared to the Steampunk? You know, it's tough to say. I didn't do a side-by-side. It hits like it should. You know, I put this Addy on a couple different mods. The higher-end mods that have been coming out lately, like the Steampunk and the Nemesis, and they, you know, the Chi-Yu, they all, you know, people say, oh, this hits harder than that, that hits harder than this, and, you know, and I'm guilty of it too. I've said that before too. They all perform about the same. They all feel about the same. You know, I had a pretty drastic experience when I reviewed the Bare Brass mod Steampunk because I did a side-by-side with a mod that was not conducting as well. Actually, it was a 69 mod, and I took an Addy off of the 69 mod, put it on the Bare Brass mod, and actually had to add a wrap to the coil that I had on the Jenny that I was using because it hit so much harder that it was a little too much for me. So, but I mean, you know, this hits about the same as a Poldiak and a Nemesis and a Bare Brass mod and a Caravella and a Chi-Yu. You know, you might get a slight difference, but as far as measuring the voltage drop, it might be, you know, 1.1 instead of 1.2, or, you know, I don't know. But I mean, as far as my personal experience and the quality of the vape that I'm getting from it, yeah, it feels about the same. Maybe it doesn't hit quite as hard, but it's not something that's real noticeable, like the drop-off that you see with something that's not going to be as conductive. So that's my answer to that. But I really like the device, though. You know, positives and negatives, I would say, like I said, the negatives are, I don't like that it's not a reverse threading. It does tarnish, but I don't mind that because I really like brass, so, you know, that's going to be a personal preference thing. The lock ring, I do wish it was reverse threaded, but it's not a huge deal. I really like the telescoping pin that it comes with. In fact, I have bought them to use in other devices. If you saw my JM22 review, I actually used it in my JM22 because I had issues with the pins that came with that device. So, yeah, I think overall I'm a very big fan, and especially comparing this to previous versions of the GP Paps. Much better switch on it. It's just a higher quality switch, not just the improvement to the throw and the fact that you can put it down without it firing. It just feels nicer. It's got cleaner threads. It looks nicer. It just feels higher quality. And I think it's a really well-made mod. And I think that, you know, because of the availability of it, that makes it even more what's the word I'm looking for? Desirable. You know, obviously it's not going to make it more desirable for the, you know, for the flippers and people that are looking to make a profit off of these, but it's more desirable for the, you know, for the community, and it's a good thing for the community to have a really nice high-end mod that's going to be readily available, like a Poldiac, like the GP products. You know, the fact that they're taking steps to become a really high-end device that's comparable to some of the unicorns out there. You know, I think it's a great thing for the mod community. You know, the price is still going to be higher, you know, than buying a lower quality device from China, but you're going to get really high quality and really high performance, even though something's readily available and being produced on a larger scale, even though maybe it isn't mass produced like the stuff coming out of China. So really like the GP Paps Lux. I haven't tried it in comparison to the non-Lux version, but I would assume that it's a similar quality vape, even though it looks different. So I definitely give it a thumbs up. I like the device. I've been using it actually for a couple weeks now, and I've been very pleased with it. So yeah, and it is nice for a stealth vape. I don't usually vape 18350, but I've been finding myself really enjoying the dripper in combination with a 350 setup, just because it's so compact. You know, usually on my Jennies, I roll with a 650, sometimes a 500, but I am enjoying the setup. So.